Hi there, welcome back to HATV. We are here with Julie Warren from Greenville, South Carolina, and she's with us today because she's here as part of the Health Minister training, and she's also here to share with us how the Hallelujah diet and lifestyle has helped change her life. Tell us what happened that made you be interested in this lifestyle.
Okay. Well, I had gone back to school in 1999 in my nursing program, and I thought that I would have to, it was short-circuited because I went into anaphylactic shock over latex gloves. At that time, pretty much all my friends and family and my professors were actually telling me that I probably need to get out of the nursing program because at that time, the hospitals had not changed over to be latex-free. So,
that's a devastating blow
yes.
in school. All
Yes.
that because of latex gloves.
Right, right. So I remembered just praying before I went into this degree, and I just said, Lord, don't let me start something I'm not going to finish. So I thought, well, I'll just keep on barreling through and see what happens. Thankfully, my last clinical that I needed to have to go into the hospital system was over. So I just had to finish out one more year to complete my nursing degree. After that, I pretty much lived in constant fear because I had this allergy to latex, and then also avocados and bananas, which are a derivative of the latex rubber tree. And I would wear my medical alert button everywhere I went. And one day I was at church and I met a gal, and she asked me about my medical alert tag, and her name was Peggy Nungesser. And I told her my story about my allergy, my severe allergy, and she told me that her son had had many allergies himself also.
That's right.
And that the only allergies that, when they tested him, the only things that he wasn't allergic to were onions and chocolate. So they used to tease him about having chocolate-covered onions. So that was pretty encouraging to me that day. And so I, with Peggy's encouragement and other people in my church, I went on the diet. And I think the most dramatic change that I saw was when I was actually a visiting nurse at that point, and I walked into one of the patients' homes, and little did I know that there were 3 cats there. And had I known that, I wouldn't have walked in there, but I was surprised to find out that there was the cats and I wasn't having a severe reaction like I had in the past.
Wow.
That would have pretty much put me under. So I saw in such a marked way how the diet in just a small period of time had changed my life. And then through doing the diet ongoing, I saw the allergies subside.
So are you allergic to anything now?
Well, I'm not really sure.
You don't want to test it?
I'm not really sure, but I don't live in fear anymore.
That's
I don't
great.
live in fear. I want to say this, is I attribute it to a lot of the allergies to having a lowered immune system and then, having been on the dairy. And that was a big change that I made when I went on the Hallelujah diet, is getting away from the dairy. And I believe that that was a big factor, that made my allergies really subside. So,
Have you chosen to consume any avocado or banana?
yes, I eat avocados and bananas on a regular basis, actually. And I love both of them very much. So
They're incredible. I can't even imagine being allergic to them.
Both.
I know, to
That'd be
both
really
of them.
tough.
yes, yeah.
So now that you're a nurse, what are you doing with this information in your profession?
Well, I'll tell you, it's been, sometimes you can be really double-minded being in that profession because there is a place for orthodox medicine, especially with acute problems, and so a lot of times, and then also people when they're in transition to going a more holistic route, there is that bridge that they need to make the changeover to. A lot of times also there can be a seduction because you can earn pretty good money in the health field, and there's a lot of security there. But what I've found through the years, and I know that the Lord's led me in all the different sectors that I've been a nurse, is I've always come back to, if I was to get cancer, would I what would I do? And I would do the Hallelujah diet. And I really had to grapple with that, is, you know, what would you do if life got really bad, if you developed some kind of chronic disease? And so I think you really come to the place where, well, why aren't you doing it now? You know, you have to ask yourself the question, well, why aren't you just doing that now? And
we've heard so many people say that, well, if I had a disease, then that's what I would do. I'd definitely do the Hallelujah diet.
But your point is well made.
Yes.
Right.
And a lot of times when we get the disease, it's the damage, so much damage has been done to the body.
And I've, you know, I did the diet for 2 years consistently, and then I've done a more modified form of the diet. But I've always, you know, touted and talked up the diet to other people. But you have to come to a place where, you know, you're actually doing it yourself, because then you're just hypocritical.
Yes.
That's kind of why I've, you know, my husband and I, we both have just decided we're going to go at this full force. So
that's really neat.
We're pretty excited about that for you.
And you know, on the 6-Day Challenge, we've actually had people who've written us and said, we're allergic to avocados, we're allergic to bananas, and what do we do? And I think it's a great testimony that if we're allergic to those things, remove some of the things from our diet that are causing the problems.
Rebuild your immune system.
Rebuild the immune system. And it's not necessarily the foods that we're allergic to that are causing the problems.
No, isn't that funny? It's kind of like diabetes and sugar. You just don't think that it's just...
It's really a fat issue rather than a sugar issue. So that's really neat testimony.
Well, we're pretty excited for you. Sounds like you've got a very interesting future ahead of you, both as a nurse as well as a health minister.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us today and for sharing your testimony. And our audience, I know, will definitely be blessed with it. And we're glad that you're here for training.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us again on HATV. And this is AM and PM, and we'll see you in the next show.